Hey there, YouTuber. So in this video, we're going to talk about i5-12400, which we know will be out soon. This is probably the chip to buy, folks, as far as best performance for the dollars, right? It is reported that it will be 8 to 10% faster than the Ryzen 5 5600X, which is a pretty darn good CPU. I have not bought one personally, but I will most likely get the i5-12400. On my gaming channels, Intel is the CPU of choice, mainly for the games we play. Though recently, some of the 5000 AMD chips have been something to discuss, and we've thought about getting them for it, but we have not. That said, I will at least be getting a couple of 5000 series CPUs in. But really what we're here to talk about is the 12400. So no real specs out there. There is this thing on Twitter. A lot of it's grayed out, of course, but Alder Lake, 65 watt TDP, which of course, if you set power limits 1 and 2 to unlimited, you will be able to achieve a higher wattage usage than that. Now, curious about this, you see it can achieve 4,000 megahertz or just close to 4,000 megahertz. And, this is going to be a fun CPU because if you figure out where it's probably going to be priced under $200, right, you would expect you'll have to wait for some cheaper motherboards, though. Right now, Z690s, I think 220, 180, 220, somewhere in there is the cheapest motherboard. This will be ideal if it falls on a motherboard, that you can use. If that price range is in the 80 to 120 range, this will make this thing a really kick-ass CPU, especially when you look at the price of AMD's 5600X. Let's pull that up. So there's also the G, which is just, got the integrated graphics. It's not as good for multi-core, single core. If you're a CPU miner, stay away from it. You'll want to get the 5600X. And still the 5600X for those that are CPU mining. Well, let me rephrase that. If you're CPU mining and you've got less than $300 to spend, yeah, go with the Ryzen 5 5600X. If you're a gamer, you're going to want to do this i5-12400 because it will undoubtedly be the best for single core and multi-core. So $299. Now, a little bit more than this, you could get the 5800X. I would be really curious how this compares to it. However, there's a good chance the i5-12400 will be half the price of a 5800X. You see there, 341. I've been tempted to buy one of these. Also been tempted to buy the 5900X. But I wonder if I'll be as disappointed in the 5900X as I was in the 3900X. So there you have it, folks. Not a lot of info out there. You can see from here what you see, which isn't a whole lot. What can you really get from this? Yeah, they ran a test. There's some temperatures, stay below 60. What CPU cooler did they use? They don't tell you that. They've got some of the GPU information over here. Actually, yeah, here's your CPU in gray, okay, 60, during their stability test. CPU 100%, 4,000. So LGA 1700, Eventually, you know, 12th gen or 13th gen will be LGA 1800. That's about it, folks. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Please subscribe to the channel. We will keep an eye out for more of these CPUs and see if we can get a hold of some of them sooner than everybody else. All right.